Hello everyone, welcome back to my monthly pickup video. This is for April 2017. Now, in this month I got 1,000,001 VHSs, so I'll put those at the end, because I know not everybody wants to see that, but regardless. I did get games, and I will do those first, of course. So, the first thing was I went to a thrift store that is near my house, and they had a bag that was full of Game Boy games. And they were the Twin Towers Lord of the Rings game, which is actually a lot of fun. It is a RPG, sort of. And then Golden Sun Lost Age. This is the second Golden Sun game, also a ton of fun. Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge. It's a Banjo-Kazooie game. It's okay. It's kind of mediocre in my opinion. Phantasy Star Collection is a ton of fun. It's Phantasy Star games. How can you go wrong? Animorphs. I remember the books. I never actually liked them, but never played this game, so I have no idea what it's like. Aerostar. This one's a ton of fun. This is sort of like it's hard finding a game to compare it to. I want to say like a post-apocalyptic game, but it doesn't really play like you're on the planet as much as you're retaking the planet, if that makes sense. That's a fun one. Then, of course, it had the obligatory Pokemon games in it. It had Red, Yellow, and Gold. Red and Yellow had working save batteries. Gold did not, but I replaced it. So it's all good now. I wanted to make a video on replacing it, but after I looked, there were like 1,000,001 videos, so I didn't really see a point in doing it. Later on the same day, or earlier the same day, I should say, I went to a flea market, and they had some Game Boy games. I bought this for one game. There was Quest for Camelot. I remember the movie. The movie was pretty good, so why would I not pick it up, you know? There was Montezuma's Return. Montezuma's Revenge on the 2600 was a fantastic game, so I figured I'd try Montezuma's Return, just to see if it's anything like it. And this is the game I wanted. It's Lady Sia. It is a platforming game. Ton of fun. At the same flea market, I also found Pinball Dreams. I played this on, I think it was the Super Nintendo, but I never played it on the Game Boy. I remember it being a ton of fun though, so picked it up. I think it was $1. Then I got, unfortunately not in its original packaging, but Daggerfall, mainly just because I wanted to play it. This game's fantastic. Of course, it is an Elder Scrolls game. The second one, I believe. Then I found a GameCube game. Unfortunately, it's only Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I've never even seen the Harry Potter movies. I think I saw the first one when it was coming out, and I read the books, but aside from that, I haven't seen them. Then I got an NES cleaning kit in the box, which is really cool. I like finding this sort of stuff. It's nice because these are still the best way to clean your NES, which isn't really that pertinent, because, I mean, let's be honest, the NES doesn't get very dirty, but you lube this bad boy up with some rubbing alcohol, and you slide it in, and it cleans it up real nice. So, I found that at an antiques store, actually, which is weird. I almost never find anything at antique stores, but luckily they had this, which is neat. I like the box art on it. It's the repair, whatever you want to call it, the repair center. And then, unfortunately, I couldn't find the keyboard, but I found the Miracle Piano Teaching System game. I never had one. I don't know how to play piano. I would love to be able to play piano. I think it's a beautiful instrument, but, you know, I hear it's really hard to learn when you're an adult. But regardless, this is a game that you would play on your NES. I think they made one for the SNES as well. And you would plug in a keyboard and it would teach you how to play. It had to be a Miracle keyboard, but it would teach you how to play the piano, which is pretty neat. Then, just the other day, I picked up The Evil Within. I can't remember whose video it was. I think it was Radical Reggie is his name. They did a pickup video on YouTube, and this was one of the games, and they went over it, and I saw it at a yard sale for a couple bucks, and I thought it looked nice, so figured I'd give it a shot. And then at a thrift store, it's a horror game, by the way, if you couldn't tell. And then at a thrift store, I found one of the magazine demo discs. I think these are cool. They have a bunch of different demos. This one's from December 2004. I think these were from the Xbox magazine. I'm not entirely sure, but those are all the games that are on it. I really like these. I have a million of them for the PlayStation, but now I can start getting them for the Xbox, which is really nice. So that is it for the games, but I have amiibos next, if you are interested in those. So Toys R Us recently had a $20 for 3 Smash Brothers amiibos, I think it was. So I got Zero Suit Samus, which got a little roughed up in the mail, but it's not that big of a deal. I have the Samus one already, so I thought it was pretty neat to get the Zero Suit one. I like the box on it a lot, it looks really good. And then I got Falco. I don't have Smash 4 for the Wii U, so I don't really have much of a point in getting these. But I do have it for the 3DS, so I guess I do have a little bit of a point. And they work in other games too. They work in Breath of the Wild, which is neat. But this is the guy I play in Melee, so it was kind of cool just to have my guy from Melee in an amiibo. And then I got Palutena. I like this one a lot. This one is considerably heavier than the rest. And I really like that quality about it. It's feels very durable. Didn't get banged up at all either, which is very nice. And then at, I believe it was Target, they had one Waluigi, which is the greatest character of all time. Unfortunately, the little amiibo thing here got a little misaligned. It looks like someone dropped it or something. Not entirely sure, but it was the only one they had. And I love Waluigi, so why would I say no? And then Target had a sale on Animal Crossing amiibos. And I don't know why people don't love these. I love these. I think they're cool looking. This one's Mr. Rossetti. I think he's one of the best characters in the game, honestly. He's funny. He's the mole that shows up when you reset your game without saving. And then there's Tom Nook. Tom Nook is one of the main characters in the Animal Crossing games. If you haven't played them, I don't want to spoil these characters for you, so... Oh, I also have the receipt to show that these were hugely on sale, which is nice. They were $4.50, so I got, I think it's 5 of them for $23, which is a pretty good deal. Then it's Lottie, who I believe is a Target exclusive. I think it's Lottie who's the Target exclusive. I'm not 100% sure, but she's pretty cool looking too. I like the pink ones, which sounds really dumb, but the pink ones are the most well-defined. Just like Celeste, they have the most... They conflict with the boxes the most in a good way, if you know what I'm trying to say. I really like the way they look. I like keeping them in the boxes as well, but obviously that's kind of counterintuitive. I like to just slap them on my shelves because they look really nice. Then we got Cap'n. Cap'n's the boat creature who's also a Kappa, which is kind of funny. It's a good name for him. I love them. And then I got 1,000,001 VHSs, so this is where they start if you're not interested in them. We got... I'm just going to go over these very quickly. We got John Carpenter's Halloween, which is a fantastic movie. Very spooky. I like it quite a bit. I like horror movies. I like horror movies and I like not horror movies. I like two polar opposites. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I don't really know if I can consider this a horror movie. This is just... it's... I guess it's more of a comedy movie. It's one of those supposed to be spooky, but it knows it's not entirely spooky. It's like a gore movie, I guess you could call it. This one I really was excited for because I don't see this very often. It's the Valley of Guangi, which is sweet. This movie, this movie is so funky. I love it. It's about cowboys who go and wrangle up a dinosaur. That's the dinosaur. I think his name's Guangi. He's like a raptor of some sort. It's a very good movie. Then Pulp Fiction. Of course, everybody has seen Pulp Fiction. It's a classic movie. I finally found it on VHS. I've only ever found it on DVD, which is a shame. But VHS is my preferred way of viewing these sort of things. Just because I like the graininess. This one, Harrison Ford is The Fugitive. The Fugitive is the movie. I didn't really like the movie. I thought it was not a great movie, but, you know, it's a Harrison Ford movie. It can't be that bad, right? But I got it just because the box art on it right here reminds me of that Mr. Krabs picture, the reaction picture that people use all the time. And I thought it was hilarious. So that's a terrible reason to buy a VHS, but it's completely the truth. And then I got Sailor Moon R, the movie, which is highly slept on. It's Promise of the Rose, of course. It is. I don't know what it is, but I adore the Sailor Moon movies. I adore the shows as well. They are fantastic, very well done. If you haven't seen them, I recommend them, even if you're not, you know, exposed to that sort of stuff. But they're very good. Then I got Dark Crystal. This is a Jim Henson movie. He made puppets, and he did them very well. He passed away way too early, in my opinion, but he did a fantastic job with this movie. The puppets in it are, yeah, Jim Henson. The puppets in it are ridiculous. They are incredible looking. The main characters are the Gelflings, and the Skeskels are the ones that try to get them. It's a very good movie. If you haven't seen it, I really recommend it. It's a good watch. That's about half of the VHSs I got. Next up, I remember watching this when I was younger. It is Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest. I haven't seen it in a long time. I just recognized the name and knew that I wanted it. I remember it being a very good movie, though, so I will watch it again. And then, again, complete opposite of everything else is Jeepers Creepers. I think this is this is the first one. I think they made 2 or 3 of them. They're not really all that spooky, if I'm gonna be honest, but they're very different. The cinematography is very well done, I'll give them that, but I can't take this movie seriously just because it has Justin Long in it as the main character. And I'm not trying to say he's a typecasted actor, but he stars in more comedy movies than he does anything else. So I always expect the comedy movie when I see him, and then he just came out blazing in this horror movie. It's very good, though. I do recommend it. Then we have Candyman, Farewell to the Flesh. I don't remember if this is the first one or the second one, but it is a very good movie. Returns. I think this is the second one. Yeah, it is the second one. This is a very good movie, though. Candyman, I prefer the first one, honestly, but the Candyman series it's pretty spooky. Yeah, scarier than the original. It is the second one. It's very good, though. I recommend watching them. Obviously, if I bought it, I would recommend watching it. Then I got An American Tail. This is the first American Tail. They made like 1 million of them after they did this, but I'm pretty sure, unless I'm thinking of something else, this is the one where they immigrated to America from a different country. Yeah, Journeys from Russia to America. That's what they find a home in America from Russia, and they're very happy about it. It's mice, of course. That's why the tail is pertinent in the title, spelt that way. But very good movie again. If you're into those sort of things, then Scream. I like this movie just because I think it's kind of like nowadays it's a cliche, but the style of this movie back when it came out was really unique. But I think it's great. It's a has a really young cast, which is kind of funky. Everybody in this movie was young at the time. I don't know how old Drew Barrymore was actually, but they were all, aside from Drew Barrymore obviously, relatively new actors and actresses for the most part. I don't want to generalize everything, but you know what I mean. And then I got Batman Forever. I got this just because a while ago I got the soundtrack on CD, and how can you not love this movie? This is like the worst Batman movie ever made, and it's great. If you don't like bad movies, then come on. It even has Jim Carrey as the Riddler. How can you say no? And it has, is that Val Kilmer? Yeah, Val Kilmer. It's great. I recommend it. Watch it, please. It's hilariously bad. And then there is Daffy Duck. I got this at a thrift store. It's okay. It's just a movie, a Daffy Duck movie, and then it has some cartoons on it. I like those sort of things. This one I was excited to see because I watched this when I was a younger boy. It is Photon, the Idiot Menace. It's very weird. It's about this boy who leaves his home and then like accidentally marries this person. It's very strange, but it's good. It's funny. It's solid. It's I don't know if this would be considered a movie or if it's more over just a compilation of episodes. But yeah, episodes 1 and 2 actually. It's entertaining. If you haven't seen the show, then I would watch it. Then we have All Dogs Go to Heaven. This movie is pretty sad. It's pretty sad, but it's worth watching. It has a very good message in it. Again, my tastes in movies are polar opposites. It's either I like movies I watched as a kid or I like horror movies, and that's about it. But, you know, I like that movie quite a bit. And then there's the Elm Chanted Forest. The thrift store I go to likes to tape their VHSs shut, and so it leaves that little bit of residue. And I don't want to glue gun it because I don't know if that's going to mess it up. So that's just going to be there for now. This is a cartoon. It's a very good one at that too. There goes the train in the background. It's a children's story. There you go. I like it quite a bit actually. It's very upbeat. It's from 1986 apparently. That's when the copyright was. So that's neato. I don't know when that actually came out. I really doubt it was 86, but that's what the copyright is. On to the last 3. These are the last 3 that I got. There is The Little Mermaid, which is a classic. Everybody has seen The Little Mermaid. I don't know how I didn't have this one. For whatever reason, this one is elusive. I don't find it. I should, but I don't. And then there is The Page Master. This movie scared the heck out of me when I was younger. It is Macaulay Culkin's other movie, basically. He was in a lot of movies, but I think this was the other movie that he was very good in. I liked it. I liked it quite a bit, even though it scared the heck out of me. And then the last one I have is The Thief and the Cobbler. It's a very good movie. It's a lot like Aladdin, but it's not a lot like Aladdin at the same time. So, it's hard to describe, but it is excellent in my opinion. I really liked it. That is everything that I got, everybody. April is usually one of the better months. just because it leads into May. May is the best month in my local area for finding video games. So next month should be, I don't want to get your hopes up if it doesn't happen, but next month should be a very big month for video games. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next episode.